Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 12th, as we approach 9 p.m. here tonight. Welcome into tonight's video weather discussion, where we're just going to briefly talk on the potential for a couple of rounds of showers, thunderstorms, and severe weather potential coming up here over the next couple of days. We're in another warm period here these next couple of days. Temperatures were well into the 60s and 70s across the state once again today. We're going to see those temperatures just as warm for the same areas across the state tomorrow, so another warm day. Expect it tomorrow, and these warm temperatures we're in right now, these next few days, is due to a southerly flow that is occurring ahead of a storm system that's going to be developing here over the next couple of days. And that storm system is going to be the focal point for a couple of rounds of showers, thunderstorms, and severe weather potential across the state. So we're going to show you here one of our weather forecast models that we often show you. This is the HRRR model. This is one of the shorter term, higher resolution models here. And I'm starting off with this evening, because even though it is dry across the state right now, as we approach 9 p.m. here on Tuesday evening, we are seeing some shower, thunderstorm, and severe weather activity out around the Kansas City area. There's been numerous severe thunderstorms this evening around Kansas City. Many of those storms have been producing some hail. Now, that activity that's currently going on around the Kansas City area is actually going to weaken, but some of the leftover activity may try to push into portions of northern and central Illinois overnight tonight and into very early Wednesday morning. So if you do live in northern and central Illinois, do not be surprised if you might see an isolated to scattered shower or thunderstorm later tonight or early Wednesday morning, but we're not expecting any sort of severe weather activity tonight or Wednesday morning with that activity. Just the chance for an isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm for you folks across northern and central Illinois. Once again, that is for later tonight and into Wednesday morning. Now, as we go into the day on Wednesday, as you can see here, this map is very blank because not much is expected to be going on during the day on Wednesday. Like I said, it's going to be another warm day. Temperatures well into the upper 60s to low to mid 70s across much of the state. So it's going to be another very warm day across the state for your Wednesday. But as we head into late Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening here, what we're going to start to see happen is the first effects of that developing storm system are going to be seen across the state. We're going to start to see some advection start to occur. We're also going to start to see a warm front start to take shape in the vicinity of the Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri area, and as that warm front develops and as that advection occurs, we are going to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms begin to develop across portions of the state. This is going to be very late Wednesday afternoon into very early Wednesday evening when we're going to see that initial development occur, and then as we head through Wednesday evening and into Wednesday night, you can see how this activity really lights up here from around the I-70 corridor between St. Louis and Effingham, back into Missouri, even back into parts of northern Kansas and Nebraska. You can see that activity developing because of that advection occurring, and we have that warm front that's really going to develop here across the region. And then that activity develops and continues to move across parts of the state overnight Wednesday night. So if you're pretty much from the I-70 corridor all the way northward through central and northern Illinois, you will have a very good chance of seeing some fairly widespread showers and thunderstorms in that time frame of Wednesday evening all the way through Thursday morning, and potentially even into the middle of the day on Thursday here, as this activity once again will develop late Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, then as it pushes northeastward and eastward overnight Wednesday night and into Thursday morning, and it may even continue into the middle of the day on Thursday as well. Now, some of this activity could be severe. We are looking at the chance of maybe a couple of isolated severe thunderstorms being possible here across parts of the state for that Wednesday evening through Tuesday morning time frame. The main threat with that activity would probably be some hail, maybe some large hail. I wouldn't rule out a couple instances of damaging winds being possible with some of this activity as well. Now, as we work into the Thursday midday, early Thursday afternoon time frame, that early day activity will sweep off towards the east. We will dry out and clear out just a bit across portions of the state, and that may lead to some destabilization that could occur. Maybe see some clearing, some instability building. We're going to have a lot of moisture in place as well. And as we then work into Thursday afternoon, we could see a new round of showers, thunderstorms with severe weather potential here across a much larger portion of the state. And this activity would probably develop across northern, down in the west central Illinois, down into Missouri as well, along a cold front that's going to be moving through. And then eventually that activity will sweep across the state from Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening and Thursday night as well. So that could be a second round of severe weather activity with potential that we're going to be watching for as well. So two different time frames we're watching for, once again, for severe thunderstorm potential. The first round will be late Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, all the way into Tuesday morning or the middle of the day, Thursday morning or the middle of the day on Thursday. That's when we could be dealing with the first round of severe weather activity, and then the second round could be Thursday afternoon through Thursday night across a large portion of the state as well. So two potential rounds of activity we're going to be watching for. Now, in terms of severe weather threat, this was our first forecast we issued for the severe weather potential. This is for Wednesday evening through Thursday morning here. So this is just for the overnight stuff, Wednesday night. So this does not include much of the day of Thursday here. This forecast is for the stuff that we're expecting from Wednesday evening through Thursday morning. And as you can see here, we do have a level 1 severe thunderstorm risk in place across a large chunk of western and central Illinois. And I've been looking at some of the new data starting to come in here from this afternoon and this evening, and it would not be surprising if we have to expand this level 1 risk just a little bit for more of central, maybe down into the I-70 corridor here in southern Illinois. So don't be surprised if we expand this severe weather risk. Once again, this on the screen, this forecast is for the first round of activity from Wednesday evening through Thursday morning. And the main threat with that activity, as I mentioned before, will be mostly some hail, maybe some large hail. Wouldn't rule out isolated instances of damaging winds as well. Now, for the secondary risk, the secondary round of potential for Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, we're going to be issuing our first forecast for that as we go here into the next couple of hours. So definitely be on the lookout for that. With that said, let's jump here into the comments and questions here, see if we can get to a couple here this evening. All right here, JJ checking in from LaSalle County, wondering how things are looking for Thursday. Up around your area in the vicinity of the I-80 corridor, it's going to be very close for what happens on Thursday because we're going to be seeing that warm front set up on Thursday and then a cold front sliding in. And where exactly that warm front and cold front move in on Thursday definitely is going to be, we're going to be watching that to see where that severe weather potential is going to set up. So, for example, here on the HRRR model, it actually has the warm front south of the I-80 corridor. The HRRR model would actually keep most of the severe weather potential across central and southern Illinois for Thursday afternoon and into Thursday night. And actually looking at some of the data from this afternoon, the GFS and European model are actually very similar. They would actually hold the severe weather potential for Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, more so down across central and southern Illinois. But we'll see how things change here as we continue to look at more data as it continues to flow in here over the next 24 hours. Richard checking in from northwestern Illinois. There is the chance of maybe you could get in on some isolated severe weather activity, but the biggest threat at this point in time definitely is going to be well off to your south. And checking in, hoping the National Weather Service does a better job at giving you warnings. I'm not exactly sure on what that means in particular. Troy checking in here, wondering if there will be a derecho. No, not expecting any sort of derecho with this. Let's see here. Carl checking in from along the Illinois-Wisconsin border as well. At this point in time, it looks like the biggest severe weather threat will stay south, potentially well south of the Illinois-Wisconsin state line. Mary checking in from Arlington Heights. Maybe you could see some isolated severe weather potential up your way, but once again, it'll depend on where the warm front sets up here as we head Wednesday night and into the day on Thursday as well. Noah down in Marshall County. Yes, you could be dealing with some severe weather potential, both with the first round of activity Wednesday night and the second round of activity Thursday afternoon as well. Margot, this activity for Carroll County, the severe threat may be very close to you, but it could be just a little bit south of you. Tanya checking in from Dwight area. Yes, you could be in a severe weather risk on Thursday as well. Melanie checking in from the Joliet area. Your area along the I-80 corridor, also for Ashley and Braidwood. It's going to really be dependent on where that warm front is going to set up here for Wednesday night and into the day on Thursday as well. All right, let's get to a couple more comments and questions here. Anthony checking in from out in Henry County. Yes, you're going to be dealing with a severe weather threat out your way as well, and you're probably going to have a threat with both rounds of activities. You'll probably have a threat with this first round of activity coming in Wednesday night, as you can see here, and then you'll probably have a threat with that second round of activity Thursday afternoon as well. So out in that western Illinois area where you're located, you definitely could have two rounds of potential. Brittany checking in from Dixon on Thursday. It's really going to be dependent on where the warm front sets off. You could either have showers and thunderstorms with severe weather potential and see temperatures in the 60s, or you could be cooler north of that warm front with no severe weather threat. It really depends on where that warm front sets up into the day on Thursday. And the same answer goes for Christy checking in from the Frankfort area as well, and Kyle checking in from Sublette. Sarah checking in from Washington there, not too far from Peoria. Yes, it does look like you'll have a severe weather threat, both with the first round of activity Wednesday night and also the second round of activity for your Thursday afternoon. See a question here from Cook County. Once again, anyone in northern Illinois, it's really going to be dependent on what is going to happen with that warm front. Exactly how far north is that warm front going to get? If the warm front's further south, you're not going to see much of a severe weather threat in northern Illinois. If that warm front sets up further north, you could see a severe weather threat in northern Illinois. So all of you folks tuning in from northern Illinois, that's pretty much your answer to all of your questions. Kelsey checking in here wondering if tornadoes are a threat. So with the severe weather threat for Wednesday evening into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, the main threat is hail, maybe a secondary risk of some damaging winds as well. For the secondary round of activity Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, definitely damaging winds and hail will be the biggest threats. There could be a tornado potential as well, but at this point in time it looks like a lower end potential. But if we see some sort of ramp up, if the storm system ends up being a little bit stronger and we could get more southerly winds at the surface instead of southwesterly winds, we'll have to watch that tornado potential then if that does happen. Jeff checking in. How's it going tonight, Jeff? Another weather day today that hit 70. Yes, it was very warm in the Chicago area once again today. You mentioned it's the last warm day or last 70-degree day for a long time. No, actually, tomorrow it's going to be around 70 degrees as well. But then that might be the last 70-degree day we see for a while, because it does look like things are going to turn cooler. It does look like we are going to run into a more cooler weather pattern that is more typical for this time of year. So if you've been enjoying the very warm temperatures we've been seeing for the past month or so, with a lot of 50s, 60s, and 70s, I urge you to go out and enjoy it the next day or two, because it does look like we have a pattern change coming, and it is going to turn cooler, and it does look to turn more seasonable for conditions that are expected more so this time of year. Tim checking in from the Springfield area. Danielle from out in Walnut, Bureau County. Yes, you could be dealing with the severe weather chances as well. Isolated risk for severe thunderstorms Wednesday evening through Thursday morning. And also, you could be dealing with that second round of activity Thursday afternoon as well. The same goes for Tony out in the Pekin area, not too far from Peoria either. Wondering if the cap is going to be an issue this time. At this point in time, the capping concerns are not too big at this point in time. So no, not really all that worried about any capping with this particular storm system, whether or not it's going to be broken or not. Anthony here, wondering if we monitor amateur radio. Unfortunately, no, we do not at this point in time. We do not follow the amateur radio lines at this point in time. Jamie checking in here with a question, wondering if the blue area is going to go up in severity. At this point in time, we are watching things, but for this first round of activity this is the forecast on the screen, as you can see, late Wednesday afternoon, overnight Wednesday night, and into early Thursday morning. This first round of activity, we feel fairly confident in a level 1 severe thunderstorm risk. Could see a level 2 risk being needed maybe from the Missouri, Illinois, Iowa border back to the west. But for this risk for Wednesday night, don't see it going up too much as it looks at this point in time. Looks fairly isolated to maybe widely scattered at the very most, with hail being the biggest threat at this point in time. Now, in terms of the threat level for Thursday into Thursday night, I do anticipate that being a higher risk level. If I had to throw out a guess right now before we make our forecast, I'm going to guess we're going to see probably a level 2 risk on our first forecast for Thursday into Thursday night. Once again, we'll have that forecast here out within the next hour or two, probably within the next 2 hours. Give us a little time to look at some data here. But once again here, in summary, we are looking at the likelihood for a couple of rounds of shower, thunderstorm, and severe weather activity across the state. First of all, if you're in northern and central Illinois, maybe the chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm later tonight or Wednesday morning, but no severe weather expected with that activity. Then, as a warm front develops and some advection starts to occur Wednesday evening into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, we are going to see widespread showers and thunderstorms develop and move across much of northern and central Illinois. This is going to be much of Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, and into Thursday morning. As you can see here, that widespread activity across much of northern and central Illinois. And during that time, that is when we are going to see that isolated severe weather potential across a good chunk of western and maybe even into central Illinois. Then, as we head into Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, we will see another round of showers, thunderstorms with severe weather potential develop across the state and down into Missouri as well. That second round of activity will then sweep across at least central and southern Illinois, bringing severe weather potential Thursday afternoon and into Thursday night. With that second round of potential for northern Illinois for Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, if you're going to see a severe weather risk across northern Illinois, it's going to be very dependent on where that warm front sets up. Right now, based on history of similar cases before, I'm going to guess that warm front's going to set up south of northern Illinois. So right now, don't have a good feeling that you're going to see severe weather potential across northern Illinois for that second round of activity Thursday afternoon and into Thursday night. But central, southern Illinois, you're definitely game for some severe weather activity during that time frame. All right here, but that sums it up for tonight. Thank you all for tuning into this little update here on the severe weather potential that's going to be coming in the next couple of days, a couple of rounds of potential. Definitely stay tuned and keep a watch on our website and social media pages. Also, if you have the ISC app, we will be putting out an updated forecast here with the severe weather potential coming up here over the next couple of days. Look for that update to be out here within the next probably 2 hours or so tonight, and then we will be back on tomorrow morning, which is Wednesday morning, for another update here regarding the severe weather situation coming up over the next couple of days. Until then, though, everyone have a great rest of your Tuesday night.